Today, the government has announced plans to lower the voting age to 16 to 17. This isn't a huge surprise. This is what left-wingers do. They will also try and secure, inverted commas, the immigrant vote. They do not mind the numbers of people crossing the channels because they are a voter base potentially as well if they get given incentives and nice freebies as they have been getting. But the youth vote, it's important to draw attention to the infrastructure in place to make this happen. This isn't just the case of Labour MPs feeling very strongly that they had a great head on their shoulders when they were 16 and really feeling like it's time for change for the right reasons. There's actually a lot of organisations that have been beavering away on this. The one that I've written about a lot is My Life, My Say. That's a youth democracy charity. One of its directors is Sadiq Khan's deputy mayor of the environment. And when he was CEO of the charity, he was also a Labour councillor. I think this is incredibly inappropriate that Labour were running this charity essentially via this councillor. Alastair Campbell helped him set up the charity. Tony Blair partners with it. You can actually see the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change liking its post today about votes for 16. And that's before you even get into who is sponsoring this charity. Okay, the US Embassy in London sponsored it with $90,000. The Joseph Rowntree Reform Trust, that's a Quaker trust, has also funded it. What's in it for them? Of course, they will say, we really care about youth democracy. But there are people with big pockets. Ben & Jerry's have also been involved with the charity, trying to make this youth democracy policy happen. And if you go through the charity's feed, you will see it's been very busy indeed with Votes for 16 and all the other organisations working on it. To be honest, I think what happens with these kind of policies is that the right tends to get dragged into writing about them from an intellectual perspective, doing lots of articles about how 16, why it isn't the right age to vote, taking things in very good faith. And I just don't think, in my experience of researching left-wing networks, that the left entirely works that way. They are cynical, calculated. They just look at voting coalitions. They say, what will help us stay in power to get our radical agenda through? And that is young voters and also the immigrant vote. I always want to say inverted commas because I hate generalising about groups. It's not good to generalise about groups. But these are the cohorts that Labour are going to really focus on. So I don't think people should be talking about the merits of the argument. I think they should be looking hard at all the infrastructure, all the organisations making this happen, and especially My Life, My Say, why is this charity allowed to take US funding to achieve its aims? Why is one of its directors one of Sadiq Khan's deputies, and this guy, Mete Coburn, is also being suggested as a potential replacement for the Mayor of London? Frankly, it all stinks.